the real rub here is that those costs that are borne by credit card companies will be passed on now to actual retailers starting in October, right?
That's absolutely correct, Matt. Good morning.
Why?
Effectively, the schemes have decided that the liability on fraud will move to whomever has not moved to new technologies to reduce the fraud. So the concept is, and this has happened all over the world, that initially the fraud is on the issuers, your financial institution, your bank.
They need to check. They need to be responsible, and they need to make sure that you are who you say you are. And chip and pin really helps, right? Everywhere else in the world, well, everywhere.
Can we just step back and
world,
walk through how chip and pin works and what is done in Europe that's different from here, for those who don't know?
So the EMV migration, or the chip migration, has occurred all over the world. Initially, it was more than 10 years ago in Europe. It has moved to Russia. It has moved to Latin America. And 2 years ago, it has moved to China. This year, it's moving in the U.S.
So you put your card into an actual reader, like we're showing here in the video, and then you enter your PIN on the pad as you would with a debit card.
So we will have two steps, as most countries have, as the UK has, as Australia has. The initial step will be you will put your card inside a POS, point-of-sale terminal, and you will be initially asked either for a PIN or for a signature. However, the use of the chip in the card will provide a high degree of confidence that your card cannot be counterfeited.
Why wouldn't this have been adopted sooner? Why would England and Australia be on board and not the U.S.?
I would say probably the main reason was that the original IP did not originate from the U.S.
It was French.
It wasn't born in the USA.
It was not born in the USA, maybe one reason. The other reason, perhaps more technical, is that the quality of our communications in the US is far better than in many other countries, certainly 10 years ago. And therefore, today, through online systems, you can develop very good security systems.
So the interesting thing is, by October, the liability will pass to retailers, because retailers are supposed to, by then, have installed these chip and pin point-of-sale hardware systems, and the problem is a lot of them haven't and probably won't by then.
So I would say that a lot of them are furiously moving to it, and I would suspect that certainly the large box retailers will have completed what we call the EMV migration by the liability shift date of October the 1st.
But this has got to be helping with your sales tremendously. You make the chips and you make the cards.
We make the cards and we personalize the cards, meaning that the envelope that you get at home with a card and a carrier and a few inserts are done in our facilities. So yes, business is particularly good. Thank you very much.
Then what's your biggest challenge?
Our biggest challenge is actually to meet the demand.
Wah, wah.
That's a real challenge. A lot of companies have trouble doing that.
And however, we are very well positioned to do that. And while 6 months ago we had difficulties in producing the cards, today it's the personalization step that makes us work on every public holidays, every weekends until the liability shift. But we are well positioned.
Well, that's good. Well, then hopefully next summer you can take August off, right?
Let's hope so.
Martin Ferenczi of Oberthur, North America, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.